I don't think the army has taken over. I mean, the 20 million people, Jeremy, who were in the Tahrir Square and everywhere in Egypt, who asked the army to intervene because the other option was a civil war. I mean, we were between a rock and a hard place, and people need to understand that. I mean, and put it in context. I will never support an army intervention, neither now or any time in the future. I mean, and the army understand that people do not want them back. They want to see their back, in fact. They never want them to see them running the country. I mean, they had a bad experience, and they understand that. I'm pretty confident that they know that they have been called by the people, to avert a civil war. It is not, it's a painful measure. Nobody wanted that. But Mr. Morsi, unfortunately, undermined his own legitimacy by declaring himself a few months ago as a pharaoh, and then we got into as I say, a fist fight and not really a democratic process.
But you still sat there next to General Sisi as he announced that the army was taking over.
No.
Like it or not, you may not like to think of it as an intervention, but surely that's what it was.
No, it's not the army is taking over. You have now today an interim president who is the head of the Constitutional Court. Within the week, you will have a civilian government, and the army will not, and I expect that they will not show their face in any way in the political process. So it is not the army who took over. It's the army who acted on behalf of the people.
Are you saying that the interim president and the new government, when it's formed, will be 100% independent?
They have to. And if they are not, then I'd be the first one to howl and scream, because we do not want to see the army back.
Isn't the whole point of democracy that if you want to change, you wait till the next election, you don't go to the street?
But you have to put troops in the street if you want to avoid what's happening in Somalia. You have, as I said...
Was that a real risk here?
Of course.
If you're going to have a democracy, does that mean letting the leadership of the Muslim Brotherhood out of prison and letting them organize and operate as a political leadership?
Oh, absolutely. And absolutely. I am the one who spent a couple of years before the revolution, as you might recall, calling that the Brotherhood should be part of the political process. My views are still the same. They should be part of the...
But they're back in jail like they were in Mubarak's time.
Well, for a couple of days, because, again, the answer I got that they have been plotting, they have been asking their supporter to use arms. I hope that, and my answer to that, they need to go through the court procedures, court law order. I mean, we do not want any extra anti-democratic measures, absolutely. So I'm fully concerned, as you are, and I hope this situation will be put to rest in the next few days.
I've spoken to a lot of Muslim Brotherhood people, supporters of Morsi, and they're saying, why didn't the army listen to us, our wishes?
Well, the army, again, I haven't been part of that process. The army have been talking to them, to Mr. Morsi, as I was told, for the last few months. And to avoid this polarization of the country, the confrontation in the country, he, as I was told, he didn't have the driving wheel. He was not really the one who is able to decide. I mean, he was not the decider, to quote George W. Bush. He was not the decider. And that's part of the problem. He was there. The people who are really governing was the Brotherhood. And this confluence of the Brotherhood, which is a religious sect, and a president who was supposed to govern under a democratic rule was part of the problem. But he undermined, you remember, he issued this constitutional declaration where he undermined the whole judiciary. He started to put the media people like yourself in jail, accusing them of insulting the president. He is the one who started really undermining the whole democratic process.
It looked after the Arab uprisings that the Muslim Brotherhood was going to be the big winner in the region. It's not anymore, though, is it?
No. I mean, as you see, they managed to royally undermine any credibility they have within 1 year, which is amazing, here in Egypt at least. And I think the ramification of losing credibility here will reverberate, I think, in the rest of the Arab world. It was an opportunity for them to say political Islam, could be the way forward, could be a way to reconcile the religion with democracy. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. They couldn't deliver. I mean, at the end of the day, what you see, this 20 million people, I mean, they wanted food on the table, they want health care. As I said a couple of weeks ago, they can't eat Sharia law. They need food, they need health care, they need education, they need housing, and they were not able to deliver.